We also need Ukraine to make changes to fix the broken immigration system here.
A lot on his mind, Johnny.
Over $1.3 billion dollars.
Right now ain't a good time to ask.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I trust you know 2% nothing's fucking nothing.
I'm among many qualified people. I'm the best qualified person for this job.
The failure to properly value your freedom in the promising days ahead.
I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
Don't lie either against me breaking your fucking jaw.
Why?
Because I'm sometimes that stupid.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
And fuck us all anyway for the limber dick cocksuckers we are.
Well. Isn't that the way it goes? First your money, then your clothes. All right, I just wanted to do a little bit of video here. Not sure what I'm gonna pick right away. Let me flip over to this one. Maybe that one. Put me down in the corner. All right, and what are we gonna look at first? Got some Gen Zs are pissed off because Democrat policies. And Gen Zs, my God, what are they, 20? 18 to 20, 25, something like that. Damn ridiculous. Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Copper Jacket TV, let's see what happens here.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So how embarrassing must it be to stand in front of the camera thinking that you have not only the support of your colleagues, but the support of the entire country, because all of the polls and all of the data and all of the information that has been fed to you suggests one thing, while in reality, it's completely different. So today, we're going to talk about what happened to Newsome's 28th Amendment. So let's get to it.
Convening a constitutional convention requires 2/3 of the states to call for this. California will be the first.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Hey, real quick, if you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free. It only takes a second, but it really helps us out here quite a bit, and it helps us spread our message as well. That little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out, so you can always stay up to date on what's going on with your rights. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right in and talk about what happened to Newsome's 28th Amendment and why did all of his colleagues bail on him. Now, when he first announced the 28th Amendment, it was this big deal. He came out with this fancy video that had fancy editing and all sorts of statistics that made it seem like everyone in this country was on his side. I mean, we're talking about statistics like having 87% support for background checks, 81% support for raising the minimum age, 77% of the country wants waiting periods, and 61% of the country wants to ban what they consider to be assault rifles for civilians. I mean,
now, wait a minute. We already got background checks, but universal background checks. Biden just did this deal with the closed the loophole for selling even one gun. All of a sudden, you're a dealer. And if you're a dealer, you have no choice but to do background checks. So he closed the loophole for like gun shows and stuff like that. People that just, got some old guns that, 3 or 4 old guns that they might want to sell. Even if you sell it to an FFL, you got to be an FFL to get it done. 81% for raising the minimum age. Well, that's really not going to work out, considering 18 you can join the military. Okay, because if you're joining the military at 18 and you can't, well, as it sits, you can't have a drink unless you're on post. If you join the military, you can drink at 18 on military base. You can't buy cigarettes unless you're on a military base. And you can't, you can vote. You can't smoke. You can't drink. You basically can't do anything until you're 21. So, to buy a gun, well, you can hunt at many states as young as 11. My daughter here in North Dakota passed her firearm safety course at 11 years old. And we went partridge hunting, we went grouse hunting, we went pheasant hunting, we deer hunted, okay, and she's 11. Okay, well, I have to own the gun, of course, but she can carry it. So, as long as she's got a hunting license, she can carry that gun. And now they want to go from 18 to 21 just to buy a gun. You already got to be 21 to buy a handgun. So a waiting period, we already got waiting periods. Some states it's 10 days, some days it's 7 days. If it's a pistol, you definitely got to wait 7 to 10 days. If it's a shotgun or if it's a long rifle, you can pretty much do the background check right there and they'll let you have it over the counter. But you got to still pass the background check. So, and banning assault rifles for civilians is just stupid. I mean, you can't tell me the difference between a Remington 760 semi-automatic and an AR-15. I had a Remington 760 years ago that was semi-automatic and .270 caliber. Okay, that's a higher powered rifle than a .223 or a 5.56. That shell is like this friggin' long. Okay, it's a deer gun. It's an elk gun. Okay, and it's semi-automatic. Now, granted, the magazine only holds 3 rounds, but with 3 rounds in the mag and 1 in the chamber, you've got 4 rounds that, and it looks like a hunting rifle, but it's semi-automatic. Now, is that an assault rifle? It's semi-automatic. It just don't look like an M16 or an AR-15. So what are they going to determine looks like an assault rifle?
I mean, these were numbers that made it seem like overwhelmingly the 28th Amendment is exactly what this country wants. Well, if that's exactly what this country wants, why didn't it go anywhere? I mean, you and I all knew that the chances of something like this actually making it all the way through were less than 0. I'm going to say negative 1 billion%. But even though you and I knew that, it seemed like his confidence was still at 100% while he continued to campaign for his 28th Amendment. Now, he needs 2/3 of the state legislatures in order to make that happen. And guess what? Nobody is going for it. Not even the other governors who run their states very similar to his. I mean, take a look at New York, where they have a majority in the legislature. Take a look at Illinois, where they have a majority in the legislature. Other states that have the ability to do what he did are still not taking it up. Now, there's several reasons for this, but one of the main reasons is they know that if they call a constitutional convention and all of the states get together, they also have the ability to put things on the agenda. That means that it wouldn't just be the 28th Amendment that ends up being voted on by all of the states. It would be every agenda that every state wanted to bring forward to that convention. So essentially, even if they were able to call this and all the states got together, it would end up being this massive hodgepodge of different states trying to put things forward. And right now, as we stand right now, a vast majority of the states are actually conservative, and a vast majority of the states have passed constitutional carry, which means that very likely his 28th Amendment would actually be struck down, and you could end up seeing more support for the Second Amendment be added to the Constitution if
we could wind up with constitutional carry across the country.
That were to actually happen, which it's not. But they notice that. These other governors, these other states, they see that. They are basically on the losing side of history should this actually happen. So they've decided to back off. I mean, they've bailed on it completely. There's been no votes in any legislature. No states have come out and openly support it where the legislature has voted to say that we have supported it. I mean, it is just wildly unpopular amongst everybody. Now, another reason I think he went forward with this, even though the only people that seem to support it are the people in his own legislature, is because of the Bruin decision. The Bruin decision simply reaffirmed rights that had previously existed, rights that existed before the Constitution even. And so what happens with that is a lot of these gun control laws that currently exist in the state of California are being overturned left and right. We're having district court judge after district court judge place injunctions and say that these laws are unconstitutional, and now they're going up to the Ninth Circuit. And even though the Ninth Circuit is doing their absolute best to try and side with the state of California, they know that if they ever make it up to the Supreme Court, that's going to be the end of it right there. So he's going to be seeing some pretty big losses in court moving forward because of the Bruin decision. The 28th Amendment, even though he knows it's not going to go through, the 28th Amendment is his way of saying we need to stop this. I don't like the Second Amendment. I don't like that it stops me from passing the laws that I want to pass. And I don't like that the courts are now forcing me to obey the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. I don't want that in my way. He doesn't like that that is a brick wall in his way to disarm the population. He's not able to go up it. He's not able to go around it. It's standing in his way currently. And what does he want to do? Well, he wants to make his own amendment that would simply tear that wall down. Now, the next reason to me is even more obvious, and that's just the grandstanding. To get your name out there, to try and be more popular, to have people talk about you. Because when you do something that is as far out there as that, you're going to have every single news station across this entire country put your picture on the TV and start talking about what you want to do. And it gets maybe a little bit more support from those people that wear red and orange shirts. I mean, other than that, I don't really see another reason to do this unless maybe you have some higher aspirations that you've just been holding off in the background there. So I wanted to make this video today because in the very beginning, it was the 28th Amendment that was such a big deal and what people were talking about and the statistics in the video and so forth. But now the big topic of the day is the failure to enact a 28th Amendment. As a matter of fact, there's multiple news sources and people are talking about it on Twitter. People are talking about it on Bearing Arms. There's actually quite a few news outlets now that are talking about the utter and absolute failure to initiate that 28th Amendment and the lack of support from the colleagues as well. So I thought I would share that with you and see if I could get your guys' opinion on it down in the comment section. I want to thank you all very much for watching.
Yeah, that last piece was what the deal was. Is he wants his name out there. He wants it all across the country, because I almost bet you that he plans on running for president in 2028. And there's no way this man's going anywhere. So that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Click like, subscribe. This is the first one I've done in quite a while, so hope you enjoyed it. Gavin Newsome, the idiot right behind Biden. Bye-bye.